Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny.
And we have a commercial real estate collapse on the level of something we have never seen before. It is brewing, and not many people are talking about it as much as they should be, and there is a potential trade in this. Also, it's absolutely terrifying. So, Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. All
I'm
right.
shaking in my boots.
Shaken. You should be. There's a way to profit from this. So, full disclosure, when I started to make this video, I was just looking at how shitty WeWork is, and then this led me down a path to other things, which I then found a trade, actually a possible run on banks, and I understand how that sounds. Just stick with me. This is kind of a weird thing, but yeah. Anyways, WeWork, once valued at $47 billion. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
If you're asking what the trade has to do, the trade coincides with WeWork going bankrupt. The timeline of
Okay.
multiple events happening at the same thing, I think, is going to be a catalyst for a massive commercial crash. And
Fascinating.
part of WeWork going bankrupt is obviously look at this absolute nonsense. Revenue and
I
net
mean,
loss. I don't.
free beer is a great business model for like a fraternity, maybe, but not so much for a $47 billion company. But, that's just me.
Yeah.
They
And
give away free beer. You shouldn't know that.
then kombucha on tap.
Yeah, totally.
They don't own a lot of that's kind of a misconception. They do not own like the square feet of all the stuff that they lease. They're paying landlords. Hence, when they go bankrupt, there's a problem. So WeWork. This is just a fun little thing. I mean,
This
you
is
have to
let
zoom
off the
in.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to literally zoom in to see how small they are. They're at 14 cents right now. It's not even like I don't even know what to do, but it's not shortable.
Yeah, definitely not.
So essentially, they just had earnings, and the risk is they don't think that they can last a year. I don't know why they're just thinking that now, but they're about to say, "Hey, we have a red flag. We may not have funds for the year." Now, let's take a break from WeWork. Let me move my face, and let's just look at commercial real estate in general. More importantly, office space. Okay? Office space. So, commercial mortgage-backed securities market saw a noticeable uptick in delinquencies. There's different markets that they used to look at these percentages, but you can see just the delinquency rate for these is approaching 5% on both timelines on different markets. It's a problem. It gets worse when you look at different. Oh, let me move my face. When you look at different cities, but
Okay.
one here. Okay. So why is this happening? Why are we having delinquency rates? Obviously, COVID happened. It has changed everything. All right. People who are paying for offices are realizing, well, if you don't come to the office, you're not going to do your job. You're not going to do great at home. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, actually, people are slightly more productive, and we can save a hell of a lot of money not paying for an office, right? So 3 years, about a third, 35% of workers with jobs that can be done remotely are working from home all of the time. Okay. It's down 43% from January, but it's up, I think it was at like 7 before this happened. The big thing I want to show you is just this graph. Okay. So growing share of U.S. workers are working a hybrid schedule all of the time. Then you have most of the time, some of the time, and rarely. More and more people are coming into the office less and less days. Okay? Now, this is where it gets very scary. This is not delinquency rates. This is vacancy, meaning they are under lease, they're being paid for, but they're open. Okay? Wait,
Yeah,
did I do that
that
right?
makes sense. It's
Okay.
just a vacancy would be just space available.
Yeah, hold on. That might be the next graph. I might have messed that up. Hold
Yeah.
on. This is at 17%. Sorry, you're correct. This is not what I just said. That's the next one.
Yeah, you'd be looking for unoccupied,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's this one. Sorry. At the end of the first quarter, almost 1 in 5 offices were vacant and unleased. That's what we were just showing,
Okay.
20%. Okay.
20%. Yep.
10 of the, yeah. 10 of the largest U.S. markets, vacancies average 21.9%. Okay. Now, this is what I was just mentioning. Sorry about that. In those same 10 markets, in the week ending Monday, 52% of office space sat unoccupied. There we go.
So now
Sorry about that, guys.
30% that is leased, just not being used.
Yes. Absolutely disgusting. So, what happens when those leases come up?
Mm-hmm.
Uh oh. During
Yeah.
the first 3 months of 2023, office vacancy topped 20%. In the big areas, San Francisco, Dallas, Houston, it was up as high as 25, 1 in 4. All right. A third of all these leases are expiring in 2026.
Oh, that's sooner than I expected. Because a lot of
Yes.
office space, you're talking about 20-year leases sometimes. So a third of it is coming up in 2026. That's not that far away. That's wild.
Yep. Not good, my man. Banks hold about 60% of loans associated with non-farm, non-residential properties, such as office, hotels, retail, yada, yada. Two-thirds of those loans are held by community or regional banks.
Mm.
270 billion in bank-held commercial mortgages, of which about 80 billion is in office loans, will mature in 2023.
Okay.
Okay? Many of the loans originated over the past few years have been interest only, yada, yada, yada. Not important. Now, this is a nugget of an
I
idea.
love it.
Okay? I'm still doing research on this. This is not the point of what I was trying to do. I was trying to say this could crash the whole market, yada, yada, yada. But as we've seen, banks are unique. Okay? You can't short Amazon to nothing, even if they keep on producing profit. It doesn't work. But a bank, you can. As we saw with Signature Bank, Silicon, what's the other one?
No, it wasn't Synchrony.
Signature Silicon? I
Uh,
can't remember.
Signature? No, I forget, honestly.
I can't
First
remember either.
Republic.
Nah,
First
there you go.
Republic.
Nice.
Yeah.
As you see, as you can literally short and do a run on a bank. Now, these three banks, I have to go through the quarterly reports. These may not be the best options. I'm still doing this. This is going to take multiple quarters, and luckily I have plenty of time to do this. This would be a trade of the year, like a TLT or shorting
Yeah.
Nikola, right? This is get you the gains for the year. All right.
Hmm.
Now, Valley National is my favorite because it's on like 6 different lists when you look at parameters of holding a ton of office space or retail property loans. They're
Okay.
not offloading those as fast as other banks. I still have to do research, but this could be a huge deal. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Over the next quarter, I'm going to analyze which regional banks are most at risk of commercial real estate fallout. And it could be, as WeWork goes bankrupt, there will be 20 million square feet, which, look, as a whole, that's not a ton. But as you start to get higher delinquency rates, as leases start to expire because 50% of the offices are empty anyways, this is a snowball effect of something that could be a huge problem. And
Hmm.
regional banks are going to be the most at risk. So if we could just find the right regional bank, this could be a stupid awesome trade.
I love it. Yeah. So a few thoughts. One, there was a great podcast about economics. I think it was a Freakonomics podcast where they talked about how, because of the whole pandemic, about $1 trillion in commercial real estate value is going to be transferred to residential real estate. Was
I
their
agree.
premise, right? And people are going to spend more on a home because you're not going to have to commute anymore. You have to have a nice office space.
100%.
So yeah, that's a longer term trend. As far as how commercial real estate is priced as well, this is another one. I want to say this is a Charlie Munger line about how commercial real estate is just worth what someone will loan you on it. The numbers are complete garbage, like made up, is what he's saying. It's just about how much you can borrow against it. That's the value of the property. That is what they consider it. So he's like, it's very much subject to market forces and extreme volatility compared to other types of real estate. So, this is something where you could see it have much larger swings over time is kind of the thought there. When these WeWork goes kind of bankrupt here, you're going to see a kind of revaluation of commercial real estate. We were kind of betting on the fact that it would be a slow burn over the next 20 years rather than like a quick collapse in valuations. But if we're seeing a third of them going by 2026, that could mean much more aggressive repricing, and then therefore, these MBSs, on these properties, the commercial back, kind of MBSs, will be reevaluated in valuation much more rapidly, and yeah, that could certainly stimulate a bank run kind of environment, I would think.
Or at least a big drop in value. I put the source, by the way, on some of the slides of where I got those. So like that was from the Atlantic. They had linked it to another source. Pew Research had some stuff in there too. But it is, it seems like a perfect storm over the next like 18 months. It's way too early now. This is not a thing now. But
Yeah.
finding a bank that is having trouble offloading, or people are stupid, taking on more commercial loans, that would be ideal. That would be awesome. That would be the target. So,
All right. Thanks for gathering that list. That's an interesting one to explore and dive a little bit deeper into.
yep. Have a good one, guys.
It's excellent.